pumping system.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, Andrea started recording because this is valuable information we will send to the participants. It will not be published on the. Yeah, just for the team. Yeah.
So. I'm not sharing too many secrets here.
Yes.
If you have the robotic arm, very often you have a mixer pump. I don't know, maybe 5 meters next to it, and then you attach the hose, and then you start printing. And then you have what we call a continuous print path. So you're not really able to stop your print. And obviously this has to be incorporated in the design. When we do the large scale printing, we have what we call a 2-pump system. So we have a pump that is solely responsible for moving material, let's say from the silo to the printhead, and then the printhead itself is another pump. So given this, we can also stop and start the print. Which gives you completely different options on your design. That's one thing, and the other is, well, if you do it on a smaller scale, the material that you print with usually has to harden rather quickly. Obviously, because you're going up in height quickly and not as much in the area, so in the X and Y direction. Given this, the material that is being in use usually is, let's say, a little bit more high tech. It has more chemicals in it. And also, if something goes wrong, and or maybe I should rather say when something goes wrong, because it's usually, it does happen, then you have a very quickly hardening material in your hoses and in your pumping systems. And that makes life difficult. And if we go on a large scale printer in X and Y, we don't really have that. We don't go in height all that quickly. Our layer times are shorter. Given this, we like to use materials that are a little bit more, well, conventional, so to say, that aren't hardening quite as quickly. And that's how we can then, well, are a little bit more flexible. We can also pause the print to do some manual work here and there if it's needed. Right.
Would you print, for example, this object as one piece with a large scale printer?
With all the cavities in it, probably not. You might have to do some support here and there. But again, we can pause it, we can install a little bit of support, and then we can just continue to print if needed. So that can help.
Yeah, we also thought with some teams that there might be a need to add supports in made printing. So it's interesting to hear that on large scale printing, it's sometimes not possible because you can't stop the printer if it has the not the printer, but the concrete supply. Great. Yes. Well, thanks for the input. For the rescheduling, I suppose you don't have your calendar accessible right now, so we can do it in email, or if you have.
I actually have, so I can do that.
It's amazing. Let's
do
it.
It's illegal, but I can do it.
Awesome.
Give me a couple of suggestions.
So any Tuesday, if you can do it by the Latvian time 7, we always have a scheduled. It's 6 for you. We have a scheduled call with all the students. So it would be really easy for them to join. Any Tuesday works, apart from the next Tuesday, because then we already have a reserved lecturer.
Okay, so that is the 6 o'clock in the evening, you mean, right?
Affirmative.
Yes. Let me check. How about the 15th of February? Is that too late?
This is amazing. This is actually really good. Yes, we can do that.
Perfect.
It's scheduled.
Would you mind maybe sending me a calendar invite, even if it's just a blocker right away?
We will send it this time, yeah. And
do we have his email?
Yeah, we have email, or at least Egils and Matti should have, yeah.
Yeah, we will send you an invite, and we will also send you the posters.
Yeah, and they will be also more ready than now, maybe, and we will have like 10 teams, most probably, and 10 different objects there.
Yeah. Yeah, also the final test prints will be more prepared. Currently we have 4 test prints. There will be more to go through. We should actually try to limit the time. I will probably say like 5 minutes for team, because otherwise it usually starts to get, if you multiply by 10, 5 minutes.
Also maybe some teams will have the same feedback, so.
Yeah, that can definitely overlap, yeah, we can identify. And the posters will be ready for next Tuesday. I think that was the deadline, so yeah. Okay.
Oh, it sounds even more better now.
Yeah, if any of
15 works.
Yeah, but while we have Fabian here, maybe any of the participants already have some questions, or probably Maris or Ella has some burning ideas, or maybe something we want to hear in the lecture. That's probably a good point.
Hi, yeah, I'm Maris Schinke from our 3D concrete printing laboratory. I think most of the questions will be after the lecture, but what I think would be interesting would be, of course, to see the feedback on our student works, but also, yeah, I think that will be in the lecture about the prints that PERI has done and how they managed to do those prints. I think that from my side, as from a laboratory side, is really interesting. And the other idea that from laboratory side is interesting from me is where do you see like how the printers will advance in future, because we have some ideas how to what are the next steps for our printer, because our printer is like rather similar to Cobot printers. It's a just smaller gantry 2-pump printer, because we also have a print head with like a batch type print head, and then we have some ideas how we would like to make our printer better, but feedback from the industry would be interesting to understand which are viable directions and which might not seem so viable.
Understood. I mean, obviously, I will showcase in the lecture the projects that we have done around the world to highlight kind of how we brought it into the real world and what the challenges were. So definitely that's part of the lecture. And in regard to how to improve it, I mean, there it's always in regard to intellectual property, etc. I can't disclose too much. Yeah. It's always a difficult part of the industry, but if you want feedback on things that on ideas that you have and you can share those ideas, then obviously I'd be more than happy to comment.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Yeah.
From students' perspective, we always have to deal with failure a lot, so it would really be, if you can disclose some of the cases where there were challenging conditions and you managed to overcome them or learn the valuable lessons, that's always good to motivate to push through. So if you have some inspirational stuff, that always is something very interested in.
Sure, I can do that. That's not a problem.
Perfect. Okay. Then I think thank you for joining from the car, and sorry for all the scheduling challenges, but I think it's actually really great. We had a test call now, and then we know that next time it will work. And also we got 2 lectures out of you almost, which is even better. Yes. Yeah,
no worries. I mean, I don't even know if maybe the mistake was on my end. So thanks for
let's blame the technology. I think
let's do that.
Yeah.
And then looking forward to the calendar invite, and then we'll touch base in roughly 2 weeks.
Thanks, Fabian, and Egils, of course, also for arranging all the opportunities. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, and have a nice weekend. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Huh?
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
goodbye. Yeah, no, it's fine. Cheers. Goodbye.
Okay, tad mēs beidzam, ja?
Ja nav jautājumu nekas, tad beidzam un tad jau turpmākajās. Tā, jā, es studentiem izstāstīšu dažu studentu, kuru jautā, jā, lekcija pārcelsies, jo viņi, jā, lekcija pārcelsies, tāds ieslēgšu video. Nebija Zoom aizgājis tas invites kalendārā, un tad Fabians jau bija prom no darba šodien, bet viņš tagad saprata labāk, man liekas, ko pastāstīt. Viņam jau ir video un prezentācija, ko viņš tad tajā 15. Varēs noprezentēt, kas ir arī otrdiena, kas ir arī ierastais laiks, kurā mēs parasti tiekamies. Un tad nākošais nedēļa ir sarunāts ar Uģi Bratuškinu, ka viņš novērtēs planšetes, tāpēc vajadzētu būt tām nākošais jau tādām gatavākām planšetēm, tīpašām komandām, kurām varbūt vēl nebija laiks.
Jā, un
kam
vitāli
attīstīties
svarīgi arī
vajadzēs,
tos printus piedzīt, jā, tādā ziņā.
Un,
tā kā tas
ja
nav-
kādai komandai kaut kādas problēmas ar tiem 3D printēšanu, vienkārši jāzvana Jurim Kļavām un jāmēģina tikt pašiem skaidrībā. Jā, lai tā kā viņš kā zina, ka jūs tur gaidat to printu vai kaut kā tā.
Un
Tā.
viņš ir iedos katrai komandai tādu mazu, viņš jau tagad rakstījās, bet jā, teiksim, kā varbūt tas printēšanas process mainītos uz lielā printera, jo tehniski jums tā ģeometrija ir sagatavota, protams, ir māra printeris, bet vienmēr dzīvē jums ir iespēja sev arī pašiem izprintēt soli vai ko, teiksim, kas tā zina, es domāju, nākotnē daudz pieejamāk šī tehnoloģija paliks. Un tad no tā skata punkta tas ir viens, bet otrs arī tīri no savas praktiskās pieredzes puses, teiksim, ja viņš pamanīs kādu komentāru, ko dot, tad tas noteikti tiks darīts. Tā kā jā, tas ir papildus motivācija dabūt gan printu, gan posteri gatavu uz to laiku. Nu, uz nākamo nedēļu pats svarīgākais ir printu posteri, jo Uģis jau mums ir lielās žūrijas pārstāvis. Un tad būtu labi, ja visi lauki ir aizpildīti līdz tam. It sevišķi novietne. Uz tā tur.
Jā, jo novietne tomēr tā kā pirmā lieta, kas tā kā arī iedod informāciju un nezinu, kaut tā iezīmēt ar kvadrātiņu jau būtu jau solis priekš.
Jā, tagad jau vairs ne kvadrātiņi, tagad jau vajag visu.
Jā, Uģis noteikti kvadrātiņus neņems.
Uģim nepatīk kvadrātiņi, jā.
Uģis, tomēr, viņš vada arhitektus un viņš ļoti stingrs, bet tā kā viņš arī...
Saprotoši, bet stingrs, jā.
Jā, tā kā gan.
Kopumā stingrs vairāk kā saprot.
Varbūt kādam studentam ir jautājums kāds vai kaut kāda piebildīta. Ja mums tagad ir laiciņš kaut ko atbildēt.
Vai... Nemokam viņus piekdienā.
Es piefiksēšu šos citīgos studentus, kuri tā kā saņēmās. Maziņš pluspunktiņš.
Jā, Laurim, Danielai.
Zvaigznītam ir tur vēl Daniela un vēl daži.
Ervīns vienkārši pieslēdzas, tāpēc, ka viņam ķinā beidzot ir normāls laiks.
Domā?
Šai nodarbībai.
Jā. Jums arī sniegt, cik forši mums arī sniegt.
Mums beidza, laikam, atkal viss.
Labi, kolēģi, es tad saku.
Jā, viss, paldies par laiku.
Egil, par e-pastu, tad mēs sūtam to invaitu, laikam, lai viņš aizietu kalendāru sistēmā, mums būtu direkti jāsūt. Vai tu sūtīsi?
Mums ir e-pastu, jo mēs
mums ir e-pastu. Jā, sarunāts, labi, jā.
Labāk jūs sūtiet.
Varam arī abi nosūtīt, lai neplīst. Ok, paldies tev liels turēs.
Jā,
vislabāk.
Čau.